Alright, please bear with me. I haven't actually figured out how to edit any videos because I don't have the knowledge on how to actually use the equipment, so you just got to deal with it. I decided for a change, instead of doing all my lousy how-to videos, I was going to actually do a quick system or room tour, if you call them now. So we'll get started with my, well, I guess you could say my first proper turntable. It's a Nearmark 22250 USB. The reason why I still have it is because it's, let's see if I can actually grab the cable, it's actually a USB type turntable, so I've actually got my laptop just stowed away somewhere. If I want to actually put a record onto my phone or actually do a digital copy of it, I'll actually record it off this and put it onto my phone. The cartridge on it at the moment, let's see if I can actually focus it. Yeah, just about, it's the AT-N91. Before I can't speak today. The actual cartridge is actually what is known now as the Riga Carbon, which I'll get around to shortly. This, well, actually, this turntable's quite on this, so another reason why I still have it. Above it is, let's see if I can actually focus it back. It's just a load of CDs, and yes, I do collect CDs, and I do kind of have a soft spot for CDs. Next to the turntable is just a bunch of old portable cassette players. This actual Sanyo one here is actually featured on how to make a mixtape video. This one here though is actually my main portable player. It's actually quite a good one. I mean, I would recommend you pick it up. It's a Panasonic RX SA60. Behind it is actually a camera from the time when I was obsessed with security cameras. I'm not really that much into them anymore. I mean, I still have a nerd spot for them, but it still works. Mid 80s, 90s, I don't quite know. Just above it I have one of my older cameras as a Nikon. If I can focus it, the camera, I've actually had to turn autofocus off because it's just awful on this. It's a Nikon AF600, and next to it I've got a nice little canister of Kodak Plus X. Just behind that I have a piece of beechwood I found whilst walking along Mersey Island in near around Colchester, something like that. Here behind that I've just got a bunch of old tapes that have no cases or no information on what's on them, or old storybooks. Next to it I've just got a copy of The Hobbit because why not. Up here is all my cassette releases and mixtapes that I've made over the years. Yeah, so over the years I've been doing these for 6 years now. I mean, if I actually get one of my earlier ones out, see, I've actually just put stickers on them. But when I actually make a mixtape, you know, I do go a step further and actually make them with labels. This one's also featured on my first episode of How to Make a Mixtape. And I did have a bit of a hard time, sorry about that. But I just had to let my anger out on something. It's actually moving on. There's just like, focusing again. There's all the price tags and stickers that I've got off of all the records that I've bought. Yeah, I've bought quite a lot. Yeah, this is my favourite piece of analogue equipment. It's my, well, it was my dad's. It's the Canon A1 program. It's my favourite 35mm camera at the moment. Actually, I forgot to mention, just behind here is actually a small Olympus Trip 35. I did actually use this before I got the A1 program, but this is kind of broken now, so I can't use it. Just down here though, my turntable's dust cover. I've actually moved that out of the way. There's a boombox that also got featured on How to Make a Mixtape. I might actually feature this on a video of its own because it's got a few problems with it. It likes to like shut itself off, and it has chewed tapes before, so there might be a belt change or a capstan clean or something like that. You just pang over here, see the mass of records I've acquired. So I should just turn that down a bit before I get YouTube do a copyright strike. And you just see a bunch of singles. Called this baby. Bunch of whole box full of singles. Believe it or not, most of these singles actually came from up in the loft. In America, you call that an attic. I don't know what else. I guess you can't remember any other words for attic and loft. Just up here is all the records that I don't have multiple band members of. So what I mean by that is that if I've only got one album by that artist, so for example if I've only got one ZZ Top, that goes up here, but if I have multiple ZZ Tops it will just go down here. So for example I've got 3 Queen albums on my, I do want to grow that. The most I've acquired at the moment is Electric Light Orchestra and Pink Floyd, 2 of my favourite bands at the moment, and I bet that is way out of focus, so I'm just going to fix that. There you go. So ELO and Pink Floyd I'm big fans of at the moment. just behind the camera, the old Canon, is one of my speaker towers that I've made. It's flicked out of the way. The speakers I use are Sony SX NX1s. I have a pair of them, and I have 2 pairs of realistic Minimus 77s working as super tweeters, and if I actually get them all going at all sounding off at once, it just sounds amazing. Let's actually go over and see the equipment I actually use to listen. So for the turntables, I do have the Rega Planger 1, which I've made a few changes to at the moment. It's playing Head Full of Dreams. Talk about Head Full of Dreams, I actually kind of forgot how much of an album this was. I forgot how good this was, because I mean, when I first got this I still had a Crosley Cruiser. Please, I don't want to talk about that. We've all been there, we've all had Crosleys. Yes, they are terrible machines. I've actually done a few mods to it. I mean, I've had to take the dust cover off because, I mean, I can't open it up now without it hitting the wall. So I don't know if you can see, if I can focus it in. I have put a cork slip mat on, and that has helped with the static. And if people say it's all like gold dust, it don't actually work. Trust me, they do. I've done the sound test between the cork and the fill, and it does sound a bit better, and they don't stick as much. And actually, let's move on to the cartridge. I do feel like focus, but if you can't see, it's the older version of the AT95E. I haven't tested the new VM version of this yet, though I do want to get that, but I have been to my local Hi-Fi store, and I do not recommend doing it with this turntable because it hasn't been set up for it. But I've seen, I can't pronounce his name, it's Hi-Fi News from Singapore, and he actually managed to fit a Nagaoka cartridge to this and do all the anti-scopes. So if I do get one of those cartridges, I might try and do that myself. But something tells me I might have to raise the tone arm up a bit. And this is not the Planger 1 Plus with the preamp built in, because I mean, you're saying, oh, why do you get the one with the preamps? Because the system I have actually has a preamp already in the main amp, and actually, to be honest, yeah, it's finished. So actually pick it up and actually put it back before it actually damages my stylus even more. I swear to God it needs to be changed. Let's actually move on to the actual proper stack now. So at the top, this is just an AV-Link switch box. Bought it off Amazon or eBay, can't quite remember. It does the job. I was actually thinking about getting an actual proper realistic one to match the Minimuses, but I mean this is just, it's new and it works better, and plus if that button just makes it louder, I don't know how it works. It's got no amplifier in it. Just behind there, Bluetooth thing. It's a U-Green kind of clothing emblem model. But it's there if I want to put Spotify on. I don't generally use Spotify a lot, and if I'm on Skype with someone, or if I just wake up and want to put something on quickly, I'll usually just put Spotify on Bluetooth on. Yeah. Talk about the Rega Carbon, going back to the Carbon. Bloody thing. Got to put it on top of the system and actually focus it manually. Yeah, you can't quite read it. No, you can't. It's the Rega Carbon. This is actually just a glorified AT-N91, which I showed you on the Rega. Oh, no, not the Rega Planger. Idiots, get your names right. The new Mark TT250 USB. As you can tell, I'm not really good at making lines up on the spot. Let's actually get onto the actual proper stereo. I've said that about 100 times now. Mini disc recorder, MDS S37. Now, if you're thinking about getting a mini disc recorder, be prepared to do some maintenance to them, because these are very demanding machines. Even though it's a really nice format, really fun to use, they're just a real pain in the ass to actually repair. I mean, I don't know how many times I've had this open, but I've actually ended up leaving the screws at the back. I've only just done the ones at the front, just so if I need to get in there, because I do need to get in here a lot, because it does have the tendency to take discs in and not eject them actually. I'll show you what I mean by that, because the mechanism is still kind of broken. I mean, when I say broken, I do mean that the head broke off during transit, because I did bid on this through eBay. Yeah, there we go. You can actually see one of the advantages of mini disc. You can actually put the names on, and if I actually find a track. Nice bit of Hosier there. I'm not going to play it because copyright, but whilst I was actually changing the heads, the record head, I actually managed to break the marker switch that tells the mechanism that it's fully ejected. So it's focusing again, so you can actually see the damn thing. I bloody hate focusing this. Press eject and you get... Don't quite know if you heard that, but it keeps running for about 10 seconds and it makes this horrible grinding noise. I mean, absolutely hate that noise. But it's something I've got to live with. I repaired this just because I had nothing to do. I mean, we are filming this in the quarantine after all the infamous COVID-19 quarantine. Moving down a bit, we have my amplifier. It's the Sony TAS2. It's a really nice amplifier. It's actually got the Fungo already built in. That's why I got the Plangawong in the first place, because I didn't need to buy a preamp because I already technically have it. Has quite a few inputs. It's got the Fungo tuner, CD, tape, mini disc and the DAT video. The DAT video does two things. It does the Bluetooth and it does the audio for my flat screen up there. I actually really don't use it as a TV. It's more like a giant monitor now. It's got bass and treble controls, which when we talk about the system that I started off with, which is like this Bush black all-in-one, whatever you call them. You only had like a button that did flat, orchestra, whatever you call it. My previous Sony system had that as well, MHC NX. I can't quite remember the model, but it's one of those systems where it came in two parts in a stack. We had the amplifier at the top, I had the CD changer and cassette deck at the bottom, but the cassette deck just died on that. I mean, the first time I got it. I mean, the poor thing was stored up in one of my relatives' lofts after all, so it probably had the time of its life up there. So actually, if I find the remote, I'll show you one of my favourite features of it. And now, as I say that, I've probably lost the remote, because the remote on this stereo is very easy to lose, as I found. The actual volume control, Sony calls it an attenuator. If I can focus that in, it's about to see that. This is actually motorised, so when you press any buttons on the remote, that actually moves by itself. Yeah, that's about it for the amplifier. Let's actually go down to the tuner. The tuner rarely gets any use out of it anyway. This is the STS1, another Sony component. It's all matching, apart from the mini disc recorder. Sony did make a matching mini disc recorder for the system. I am tempted to get one, but they're very hard to find and very expensive. The MDS S1, I think it is. I can't remember, but the reason why I decided to get this one originally is because this is essentially the MDS S1 in a different case. So if we go look around the back,